So what's going on guys, Kade is here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you the top 3 best solo player builds for PvP and PvE in New World. So for each and every single build I will explain what attributes and perks you want to have, then what gems and specific gear you want to use to get out of your stats the highest damage possible. Then as well I will show you the best gameplay of me using different weapons so you would know which abilities you want to use first on your enemies and much more. And just before we get into it, I want to thank today's sponsor, Royal City Keys. By the way, if you're looking to get New World for a very nice price, you should check out an online city key store that I've been using lately called Royal City Keys. This website is one of the best options to get your video games for a very good price. They've been improving their visuals and getting a vast variety of games to their list, as well as bundles and special game releases and even battle passes. So check the link in description, give it a try, and let's go back to the video. So then moving over to the first build, which is the one and only Great Axe and Hatchet, and these are the attributes you want to have. And just so you would know, this is the best tank/melee DPS build, and it is really good for PvP and even PvE. So then, like you can see, you always want to split all of your attribute points to half. So put 50% into strength and 50 in constitution, and around level 60 you should have 200 strength and 200 constitution. And last but not the least, for your gear you want to go with full heavy armor and use a shield as well, just to look cooler, but it's not required and won't give you any extra abilities or stats, so it's your own personal preference. So then for our first weapon we have the Great Axe, and these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So first of all you want to unlock the first ability called the Reap and then get these 2 perks. Then afterwards unlock the second ability called the Charge and then get these 2 perks. Then from this point now let's move over to the other side and unlock all these 3 perks. Then lastly unlock the last third ability called the Gravity Well and then get these 3 perks. And now from this point you're feel free to pick and choose which perks you want to unlock next. So then let's go over to the second weapon, which is the Hatchet, and these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So first of all you want to unlock the Berserk ability with these 2 perks. Then afterwards unlock the second ability called the Feral Rush and then get these 2 perks. Then lastly unlock the last third ability with these 2 perks. And now from here let's take a closer look at the other side and unlock this one last perk, and that's it. Now again from this point and onwards you'll feel free to choose in whichever order you want to spend your points. So then let's move over to the gameplay, where I will show you the best way to play this tank build and how to get out of your abilities the best possible results. So first things first, for your Great Axe Q ability we have the Gravity Well, which you can aim and shoot, and if you hit a target in that electric storm he will take damage and get stunned. Then the second ability is called the Reap, which basically extends your axe for 5 meters, and if an enemy is running away you can pull him back. And lastly we have the F ability called the Charge, and this is another dash ability which will deal damage and give you more mobility. And then going straight into the Hatchet, and when attacking an enemy it's super simple. You want to use your Q ability, aka activate the Berserk mode, and then keep on using auto attacks and use the R and F ability, which are just simple damage spells. The best thing about the Berserk mode is that it will give you self-healing and movement speed, so you can use it to run away or run towards an enemy. And as this weapon is super simplistic and straightforward, the only thing that you need to know is that we have unlocked the Throwing Axe ability. So to escape enemy attacks you won't be able to block, but instead use the heavy armor and dodge their incoming attacks, or switch to the Great Axe and use the blocking system. But now on the other hand we can use the Throwing Axe, which you can use to pull mobs or hunt animals from a lot further distance. Or on the other hand you can finish off players with low health. So this is how it works. You use the same mouse button that you would use for blocking, so for me it's the right mouse button, and then I aim it and shoot it with the left mouse button, and that's it. Just of course keep in mind that every axe throw will consume your stamina, so use it as much as you can but never get below 20%, so then you would get it back super quickly. And then as far as your weapon combinations go when attacking a player, first of all you want to use your Great Axe and activate the Gravity Well, and then follow that up with the Charge ability. Then when an enemy is about to run away use your Reap ability and pull him back. Then now switch to the Hatchet and activate Berserk mode, and keep on using normal attacks plus the R and F ability. And last but not the least, if you're fighting against a melee player, then in between attacks remember to block, so do 1 to 2 heavy attacks and then block in between. And when you fight against a ranged player, try to run around and dodge his spells, and keep on moving your character from one side to another. And by doing this you can still move forwards and attack a player, but you make it a lot harder to hit you while you're closing the distance. Okay, and now for my last and final conclusions for this build. This hatchet and great axe weapon combination right now is super strong, and as you're using a full heavy armor, you can easily fight 3 or even 4 players just by yourself. For more practice with this build, I would recommend to play a few matches in the Outpost Rush, which you can do after level 60, or just go into the open world flagged and have fun dominating everyone. And then last but not the least, for your hatchet and great axe for PvP, use the Opal gem. And then if you want to be a tank for PvE, use the Carnelian gem. And then for all of your gear, get the Enix gems. So if you were looking to be super tanky and hard to kill, but as well have the ability to do a bunch of damage as a solo player, then this is the build for you, so have fun. So then moving over to the second build, which is the easiest and best build in the entire game. And for the weapons, you want to use the hatchet and live staff. And these are the attributes you want to have. So first things first, if you start from level 0, you want to get your focus to 150 and then start building your constitution. And around level 60, you should have 300 focus and 100 constitution. And last but not the least, for your gear, you want to go with the medium category. And the best gear setup is to have medium helmet, heavy chest piece, light gloves, heavy pants and light boots. And this will give you 22.9 kg weight, which is exactly just below the heavy weight category. So then moving over to the first weapon, which is the hatchet. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So first of all, you want to unlock this Berserk ability with these 2 perks. Then afterwards unlock the second ability called the Feral Rush and then get these 2 perks. Then lastly unlock the last third ability with these 2 perks, and that's it. Now again, from this point and onwards, you'll feel free to choose in whichever order you want to spend your points. So then let's go over to the second weapon, which is the live staff. And these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So first of all, you want to unlock this perk and then the first ability called the Sacred Ground. And then afterwards unlock all these 5 perks. Then now let's go over to the other side and unlock this 1 perk. And then the second ability called the Beacon, and then get these 2 perks. Then lastly unlock the last third ability called the Light's Embrace, and then get these 2 perks. And now from this point, you'll feel free to spend your points in whatever order you like. Okay, and now let's go over to the gameplay, where I will show you the best way to play this build. So first of all, you are a off DPS / off healer, and right now in the current stage of the game, healers are broken and very powerful. So then for the life staff, your Q ability is called the Sacred Ground, which you have to point and select the area you want to place it in, and then cast it for a split second. Then our R ability is called the Light's Embrace, and it basically works the same way, just for a single target. And lastly, we have the F ability called the Beacon, which you can just aim and it places a huge healing circle on the ground. So then for our second weapon, we have the hatchet. And when attacking an enemy, it's super simple. You want to use your Q ability, aka activate Berserk mode, and then keep on using auto attacks and use the R and F ability, which are just simple damage spells. The best thing about Berserk mode is that it will give you self-healing and movement speed, so you can use it to run away or run towards someone. So the best way you want to attack a player is first of all from a distance use your live staff and auto attack the target. Then when you get closer to the enemy or he will get closer to you, then switch to the hatchet and activate Berserk mode. And keep on using auto attacks and the R and F ability. Then whenever you or your teammates are low health, switch back to the life staff and place the Sacred Ground or Beacon on the ground. And whenever you want to heal yourself or a specific single target, then use the Light's Embrace ability. And to heal yourself, hold the control button and then activate the spell. And it is that simple. So for more damage and attacking, you use the auto attacks and the hatchet. And to heal yourself or your teammates, switch to the life staff, and that's it. So then for my last and final conclusions for this build. This hatchet and live staff weapon combination is meant to do a bunch of damage, while at the same time having the ability to survive for very long. And you can use this build for PvP and PvE, aka leveling as well. Like I said at the beginning, right now the healing staff in general and heavy plus medium armor is broken, and it has way too much resistance and healing output capability. So as long as the current meta doesn't change, this is by far the best and most simplistic build in New World. And then last but not the least, for your life staff you want to use the diamond gem, and then for your hatchet use the amber gem. And lastly, for all of your gear, amulets, rings and everything else, use the Enix gems. And if you're a new player or beginner and not familiar with how this game works, then basically the hatchet and life staff are two different weapons. One weapon is very good with strength attribute and the other one with focus. But as we mainly have a focus build, by using the amber gem we make the weapon switch from one attribute to another one. So now instead of the hatchet scaling with strength, it scales with focus. And by doing this, we make this build do even more damage and just in general stronger. So in a quick summary, if you're looking for the best and easiest build to learn and play, then this is the one for you, so enjoy! And now moving over to my last and final build, which is the bow and spear. And these are the attributes you want to have. So no matter from which level you start using this build, you first of all want to get your dexterity to 200 and then put 50 points in constitution and then continue putting everything else in dexterity. And around level 60 you should have 300 dexterity and 100 constitution. And lastly, for your gear you want to go with the light category, which means using the best setup, aka one medium chest piece and then all the other light equipment. So then taking a closer look at the first weapon, which is the bow, and these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So first things first, you want to unlock both these two perks and then the first ability called the poison shot, and then get these two perks as well. Now let's take a closer look at the other side and unlock the second ability called the penetrating shot, and then get these two perks. Then lastly unlock the last third ability called the rapid shot, and then get these two perks. And now from this point you'll feel free to pick and choose which perks you want to unlock next. So then going over to the second weapon, which is the spear, and these are the weapon masteries you want to have. So first of all I recommend for you to unlock both these two perks and then the first ability called the sweep, and then get these two perks. Then now let's go over to the other side and unlock these two perks. Then afterwards get the second ability and of course these two perks to him as well. And lastly unlock the last third ability called the vault kick, and then get these two perks. And now again from this point you can unlock all the other perks in whatever order you like. Okay, so now let's go over to the gameplay where I will show you the best way to play this build. So first of all we have the bow, and the Q spell aka the poison shot gives you the ability to shoot an arrow, and when it reaches a target the arrow will explode and create a poison smoke, and enemies standing in that smoke will be taking damage every second. Then the second ability is called the penetrating shot, which deals damage, and the arrow itself can go through multiple players, which makes the spell very useful in PvE and PvP. And lastly our third ability is the rapid shot, which gives you the option to shoot 3 arrows in 1 to 2 seconds. And then for our other weapon we have the spear, and the first Q spell is called the sweep, which if you hit an enemy makes him drop down to the ground. Then the second ability is called the perforate, and when using it, it does 3 super fast spear attacks, and if you hit the target with all of them, he gets stunned for extra second or 2. Then lastly we have the vault kick ability, and if you land it, it will stun an enemy for 1.5 seconds. Okay, so the best way to attack a player is first of all from a distance shoot him once with a normal attack, and then hit him with the poison shot ability. Then afterwards switch to the spear and close the gap with one heavy attack, which you can do by holding your attack button for extra second longer, and then use your sweep ability, and then activate your reparate ability, which will do 3 super fast spear attacks. Then when the enemy is about to get back up, use the vault kick and keep on auto attacking. When he is finally out of all of your stuns, switch to the bow and create a distance by running a little bit back, and then use the auto attacks plus the rapid shot and finish off the enemy. So this might seem very complicated, but the more you will play, the better you will get. You just most importantly need to understand that when the enemy is further away, use your bow, and when he gets close to you, use the spear and keep on stunning him with all of your abilities. And as soon as you get your bow cooldowns back up, create a distance and finish him off. The best part about this build is that you can fight a player in a long distance but as well in super close 1v1 combat. So now for my final conclusions for this build. The bow and spear weapon combination right now is super strong and has the highest single target damage from all the weapons in the game. And with the spells we have selected, we make this build work very well in PvE and PvP. And just of course you have to consider that to play this build, it will be a lot harder and take more time to practice aiming, especially at moving targets, because it may seem easy to land an arrow but it's actually quite hard. Then last but not the least, for the bow and spear you want to use the opal gem, and for all of your gear use the Enix gems. So in a quick summary, if you're looking for high skill build that requires a bit more practice but is very good, then this is the build for you, so enjoy! And that's about it. So I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or other good solo builds that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I will catch you in my next video. So take it easy, peace. Yo, I ain't here